even in the clock store, Bobby.
Hey there, how's it going? My name's Bob, and if you have any questions at all, hey, please feel free to keep them to yourself. Anyway, so here's what you gotta do. Question flies in, you know the answer, so you buzz in and you choose either 1, 2, 3, or 4. Then you either win a bunch of cash if you get it right, or you lose and I take away all your money and I humiliate you. Got it? Enough of my yakking. It's HeadRush time. Okay. For your enjoyment, I'd like a new catalog every day, please. $30,000 for this one. And we're off. If J. Crew made their models reenact the Crusades for a special J. Crusades fall catalog, what would the models most likely have to do? The Crusades refers to a series of attempts by medieval Christian knights to forcibly take Middle Eastern Holy Lands back from the Muslims. Trevor, you don't shoot a crossbow wearing a merino sweater in sandstone. God, don't you know anything? Pucker up for drooling to the hits. And it's worth $20,000 if you get this one right. Hey, remember that movie Beethoven about that huge slobbery dog? If Beethoven the dog were disabled in the same way as Beethoven the composer, which of these would the dog not be able to do? Beethoven the composer became deaf later in his life, so Beethoven the dog would not be able to hear that dog whistle. And the real Beethoven also used to slobber all over his piano and viciously bite people too. Coincidence? I think not. This one is, I'm gonna rip you a new one. $10,000 riding on this one. Let's boogie. Imagine a cartoon version of the story of Rip Van Winkle. Because of Rip's claim to fame, which of these cartoon characters could play him? Rip Van Winkle is famous for falling asleep for 20 years. Of course, today, he would have just been called a slacker and told to get up and go to college or something. I need a category. Open wide and get ready for people who sing really loud in church. $20,000 for a correct answer. Wipe off that finger, because here we go. What's the most appropriate name for a band made up of 4 hunky boys named Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? Stay in school. Hey, got a minute? Take a look at a right answer. The Gospels, according to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, are the 4 main texts of the Christian New Testament. Hey, is it just me, or do communion wafers look like Stridex pads? Category, please. Well, now, what do we have here? Hey, you just picked a dis or dat. This dis or dat's category name is, baby, my car's a star. Okay, I'm going to read off 7 things, and for each one, I want you to tell me if it's an astrological sign, an American model car, or both. As each one comes up, if it's chill out, okay? You know the rules. Get the monkey! Let's go. Let's boogie. Mercury, astrological sign, Gemini. Topaz. Taurus. Virgo. Catera. One more. Saturn. That's all. You missed 4, which is not 5, I guess. Hey, it could be worse. I mean, you could, like, drown in a sewer. Okay, what's up next? Okay. Looks like this category is geometric figures have feelings too. 10,000 beanies if you get this one. Okay, imagine you're eavesdropping on the next table in the lunchroom and you hear the following conversation.
You know, she's right, but she's just not very acute. Well, I wouldn't say she's obtuse either. I'll tell you something, she's too straight for me.
Who is she? Right, acute, obtuse, and straight are all types of angles.
Well, at least you're not hanging around with a bunch of squares.
How the hell hell do you get in here?
The door.
Okay. Well, what do we have here? Everybody in politics say ho! Looks like this one's going for 10,000 bucks. Hey, you know George Clinton? You know that Dr. Funkenstein dude with the rainbow dreads, and he played that Smokin' Grooves concert tour? Well, say George Clinton gets his old band Parliament back together, but instead of music, they decide to go into government. What country would the new Parliament most likely run? The governing body of Great Britain is called the Parliament.
Ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Funkenstein. Oh, yeah.
Category, please.
Ha ha ha! It's time for my question. Here we go. Old man's morning memories. Hey!
This category is known as...
Go play with yourself.
How does $20,000 sound?
So this here's one of those questions where you gotta type in the answer as soon as you know the... Ow! Concern it! I stepped on something. Ow! Looky! It's a piece from that old game. Oh, what was that called? Oh, yeah. I think it's that toy that you use to make colorful pictures. Yeah, you make the pictures with little colored pegs.
Oh, that must be what you just stepped on, old man.
Duh.
Make your move. Type in your answer. It's good. Light break. I remember as a kid, I always wanted to eat those pegs. You know, kids can be so stupid. Oh my God, spit it out, old man. Spit it out.
Oh, I couldn't help it. They look so delicious.
Hey, can we get a glass of water here, please? Let's move on. All right. Let's see what we got here. You're in big trouble. And you pocket 20,000 clams if you get this one. Hey, you know that show Millennium? You know, with that guy? If each episode of Millennium actually lasts a millennium, how long will you have to go without a pee break? A millennium is 1,000 years long. And after 1,000 years, the line to the bathroom is about a mile long. I need a... Here she is. Is it wrong to love a pen? This one can get you 10 grand. Eyes up front, we're moving. Suppose author Samuel Clemens loves his pen so much that he decides to name it. If he calls it by his own pen name, with what will he be writing? A ballpoint named Bill Shakespeare, a marker named Mark Twain. Samuel Clemens is better known by his pen name, Mark Twain. So the man loves his pen. What's wrong with that? I love my microphone. Don't I, Mikey?
What? Yes, I do.
What the fuck?
Okay, I need a category. Time for the head rush. Keep your eyes glued to the screen, because when you see two words that match, you better buzz in. Oh, am I boring you? Well, let's get to the rush. Don't say I didn't warn you. Here's your clue. The cat and the what? Hope you're not allergic. Good luck.
Look out! Look out!
am I yelling? I don't know. Let's check out your final score. Hey, Green, you were like the best player we had this whole game. Really, I mean that. Thank you for playing HeadRush, and hey, I'll see you next time.